the beginning of pagan worship and the period of Hellenization. In the year 167 to 164, this is a 3-year period where the Maccabean revolt takes place, where Mattathias, his son Judas Maccabeus, begin the Jewish revolt. Antiochus IV deconsecrates the temple. We have the cleansing of the temple. And if we notice, 3 years, and on the 25th day of December, we have the reconsecration of the temple. That's the sign of Christmas. In 20 BC, Herod starts to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem in the southern region down in Judah, and the Immaculate Conception of Mary is up in the northern region of Israel. 19 BC, the temple's reconsecrated. That's the actual birth of the Virgin Mary. 4 BC, we have the angel Gabriel coming in. We have the incarnation of the divine and the human nature of Jesus. And around 3 BC, we have the birth of Jesus the Messiah. And in 27 BC, or AD, we have the beginning of Jesus' 3-year ministry cleansing the temple. So we can take his beginning of his 3 years of preaching the gospel at the cleansing of the temple, and we can really relate it back to the year 164, 167 BC, when we have Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, and rededication of the temple, the cleansing of the temple. Does that make sense? I hope it does.
So, question on the...
Hang on, let me finish. So the question I asked at the beginning, did Jesus and his apostles celebrate Hanukkah and the feast of the dedication of the temple, the miracle of light? Can we answer that? We're going to answer it. Here's where the mystery really comes to light. So I'm going to go to St. John chapter 10 and listen to these words carefully. Verse 22. And Jesus, hang on one second, I may be in the wrong chapter 10. All right, here we are, Gospel of St. John chapter 10, verse 22. And it was the feast of the dedication of the temple in Jerusalem, and it was winter. And Jesus walked into the temple of Solomon's porch. The Jews therefore came round about and said to him, how long are you going to leave us in suspense? If you are the Christ, will you just please tell us plainly? Jesus answered them and said, I speak to you, and you believe not. The works that I do in the name of my Father, they give testimony to me. But you do not believe me because you are not of my sheep. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. I give them life everlasting, and they shall not perish forever, and no man shall pluck them out of my hand. That which my Father has given me is greater than all, and no one can snatch them out of the hand of my Father. I and the Father are one. I and the Father are one. Jesus chose to use Hanukkah, the dedication of the temple, to expose that he and the Father are one, his divine nature, and this was the beginning. We got to take this man out. Now we can see how the cross ties in to the feast of the dedication of the temple in Hanukkah, because that's when he revealed, me and the Father are one. I and the Father are one. Do you see the connection? That's a great mystery. So, what in the world is all this hoopla that Mother Church and the lamp with our tabernacle, this festival of lights back in the last feast in the Old Testament? Why is this significant for us? Why are we the only church that has this lamp at our altar and our tabernacle? Why is this festival of lights such a big deal? The reason lies in that we have to go back to Exodus. We have to understand this reading in the 27th chapter of Exodus. It's real short. When I read it, it will make complete sense. Exodus 27, and it's verse 20-21. And here's the command. Command the children of Israel that they bring up the purest oil of the olives and beaten with a pestle, that a lamp may burn always in the tabernacle of the testimony, without the veil that hangs before the testimony. And Aaron and his sons shall order it. It may give light before the Lord until the morning. It shall be a perpetual observance throughout their successions among the children of Israel. By the law of Moses, we must have a lamp lit in front of the tabernacle perpetually. And perpetually means when, forever, never ending. And that's why Mother Church has a tabernacle with the light, because we have fulfilled the law of Moses. And I'm going to end with the words of Jesus that makes this light all make sense to our hearts. And it's in chapter 12, verse 35 and 36. Jesus therefore said to them, "Yet a little while the light is among you. Walk while you have the light, that the darkness may not overtake you not. And he that walks in darkness knows not where he goes. You have the light, believe in the light, that you may be the children of light." These things Jesus spoke, and he went away, and he hid himself from them. Glory be to the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, it is now, and never shall be, world without end. Amen. So I'll take questions. Any thoughts?
The question, just some question on the timeline. Why is it that you have 3 BC birth of Christ rather than 0?
Okay, wait. 3 BC? Wait,
It says 3 BC, the birth of Jesus.
it's an approximation. Because he was not born in AD. AD had not occurred yet.
He wasn't born at 0 either.
There was no 0.
They put that together a long time ago. They realized that they were off by 3 years. So everything shifts now.
Yeah. The Gregorian calendar in the 16th century is how we were able to hit the birth of Jesus in our timeline as we have it today. And that's another story. That is another great mystery, which maybe at some point we'll talk about. But again, Jesus was born in BC. We know because we know that Herod died in 2 BC. Right. Well, Jesus was already born because Herod already was after to kill Jesus as the innocents, right? So that justifies and that clarifies that Jesus was born in BC because AD had not been proclaimed yet. Any other thoughts?
Question. If you were to present this to a traditional Jewish person today, a devout Jew, what would their thoughts be?
That's a mystery within itself. Because let me give you a little background. I grew up in Chicago, okay? And in Chicago, there are three types of people. You are either Catholic, or you're Jewish, or you're a pagan. And I was pagan Brad back in this time. Every single one of my friends were Jews. And everybody celebrated Hanukkah. Everybody had a menorah in their homes. But no one could ever explain what Hanukkah was. They just said, that's Festival of Lights. That's the only answer I was ever given. What makes this so amazing is if you call the rabbi here in Houston, they're going to celebrate on starting December the 20th. We're celebrating Hanukkah. Okay? We should be celebrating in Hanukkah in a historical sense, not as our Hanukkah celebration, but historically. Because it's a preparation. It's really that final preparation for the birth of the Messiah.